Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike other YouTube channels, this is a channel that only showcases shadow Pokemon. So if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate it if you could like, comment and subscribe. So let's get into today's video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best shadow Pokemon and some of the shadow Pokemon that I've got. We're going to be ranking them out of 5 and going through some team ideas. So if you have a look what I've got, I believe one of the best Pokemon this season after the buff's going to be Drapion. I'm going to score this a solid 4, running Poison Sting, Crunch to hit them legendaries Crest and Giratina, and Sludge Bomb for them fairies. We next got Shadow Hariyama. I did try this last season, I'd give it a 3. It's a great anti-steal running Counter, Heavy Slam and Superpower. However, it has got a lot of poor matchups. Next we've got the Shadow Scizor running Bullet Punch, Night Slash and Iron Head. I'd give this a 3. It's real squishy, potentially very difficult to run in a triple shadow line. Moving on, we've got the Shadow Machamp. Shadow Machamp's a real good, well, anything general, it pretty much punches its way through, running Counter, Cross Chop, and I personally run Rock Slide. You can potentially run Payback, although it is very expensive. I'd rank that a solid 4. Next we got Shadow Venusaur with its Community Day move of Frenzy Plant. Again, I'd give this a 4, as I believe that Frenzy Plant, even resisted, fun fact, it beats Melmetal in the 1 shield. Obviously it's hitting it for resisted, whereas it's hitting us for neutral. Next we got Shadow Ampharos. I'd give this a 2. I do run this with a Legacy Dragon Pulse, however this doesn't really have that many positive matchups. Not a bad pick in Premier as it beats the Empoleon double dragon line. Next we got the GOAT. I say the GOAT because Shadow Swampert, in my opinion, is the best mon in the entire Ultra League, shadow or not. Running Mud Shot, Hydro Cannon and Earthquake. I actually switch between Sludge Wave, so it depends what on your team comp. Next we got Shadow Lapras running Ice Shard, Ice Beam and Surf. I'd give this a solid 5. I think this is a fantastic mon in both Open and Premier. Shadow Snorlax is just beyond Shadow Swampert, not quite the GOAT, but again a solid 5. Running Lick, Body Slam and Superpower. It's got real good coverage and the best safe swap in the Ultra League. Next we got our Shadow Shiftry. I give this a 3. It's a real fun mon to use. It hits like a truck, but again it's real squishy. Resisted Hydro Cannon does about 40%. Next we got Shadow Zapdos. I'd give Shadow Zapdos a 1.5, being optimistic. It is so squishy, but does pick up big wins against Talonflame with the Drill Peck and Thunderbolt. We next got Shadow Gyarados. I'd give this a 2, running Dragon Breath, Aqua and Crunch. I'd only give it a 2 because I believe the regular's better. The lack of bulk does really affect it. Next we got Shadow Gliscor. Pokemon Home Slice Henry actually showcased to set my battles on. Shadow Gliscor's got great coverage with that Night Slash and Earthquake. Next we got Shadow Magnezone. Again, a real squishy Pokemon, but with Wild Charge, hits like a truck. So let's get into the battles. I'm going to have the teams on the left-hand side. We're going to see 5 battles, 5 different team comps. Every battle, we got the Shadow Swampert, Shadow Snorlax core. And right off the bat, we're going to see what the idea behind the team is. Any bad leads, such as this Cresselia, we're going to look to build up and look to catch on Snorlax. Snorlax is going to operate as our damage sponge. As you can see there, we got up to 6 Psychic Cut, so we catch the grass. Now in comes a Poliwrath. This is terrible for us. However, my IVs are fairly decent, and I believe we will survive this. I'm not going to shield. With shadows, you want to maintain shields for only matchups where you believe you can flip. We're not flipping this in any shield scenario. We survive, get off the Body Slam. Gets the Poliwrath to about half health. We're now going to wait out our switch timer. We're not in the best position, but our Swampert does have a bit of residual energy. So in comes the Swampert again. We're going to overfarm just before he gets to a charge move. We're going to look to fire off this Sludge Wave. I don't expect the opponent to shield, which he doesn't, and we take him out. Back in comes the Cresselia, so we're counting. Yet again, when they get to 6, we look to catch on our Gliscor, which we do there. So again, the Swampert is backloaded on energy, and the Cresselia is now dry. Let's see what the opponent has in the back. In the back, the opponent has a Scizor. This isn't really a great matchup for us. We are hitting them with resisted Fury Cut as they're hitting us for neutral. We're not going to shield here as our win con is Swampert. I'm going to go straight for the nuke as I believe the opponent isn't going to shield, as this Scizor is pretty dead weight against our Swampert, and I think that they'll believe their win con is a 2 shielded Crest. So big Earthquake coming through. and we get a one-shot. Back in comes the Cresselia. We're trying to get to this Night Slash. Unfortunately, we just get farmed down. Back in comes our Swampert. So now we're back in this original matchup. We are loaded on energy. Hydro Cannon coming through. We get the first shield. Unfortunately, a Grass Knot will one-shot us. So we're going to have to shield up every move. We're going to now rely on the spamminess of Swampert's Hydro Cannons to clutch out this game. We're trying to time our charge moves correctly like that so we don't let any Psychic Cuts through. Next Hydro Cannon coming through. Opponent lets it go through. We managed to get a Mud Shot through, which is great for us. We now shield up. As you can see, these Shadow Hydro Cannons are absolutely no joke. Cresselia is an absolute meta monster that has bulk for days, but these Hydro Cannons do about 33%. We're now at the back-to-back. One's going to grab the shield, and one's going to take him out. You see there why I call Swampert the GOAT. The power of Shadow Swampert, and that is a GG's to the opponent. So moving on into this next team, we've got our Shadow Swampert Snorlax core. This time we're pairing it up with a Shadow Zapdos. A very squishy Shadow Zapdos, but we do find some good plays. So we're in a matchup here with Umbreon. Swampert does beat Umbreon in even shielding scenarios. We're over farming, we're looking to deny their fast move, which we do there, and we're going to fire off this Hydro Cannon. One Hydro Cannon and one Earthquake is enough to take them out. We'll let this next charge move through. We're going to overfarm a little bit more now, and we're going to fire off this Hydro Cannon. We'll let a Snarl through, which isn't great. However, the opponent probably knows that we've got enough of the Earthquake. They do shield. The opponent gets a bit greedy and we actually make the Earthquake. They're now going to have to go in 2 shields or they're going to lose switch. Swampert lands the Earthquake, takes out the Umbreon, and in comes a Cresselia. We obviously can't switch out of this matchup. We're just going to do as much damage as possible, so we're going to want our Snorlax aligned with this. We don't want our Zapdos on this. Hydro Cannon comes through, does a decent chunk, like we said, about 33%. They're going for the aggressive Psychic Cut down. We are squishy and we are Shadow, but we managed to get to another Hydro Cannon. Now Cress is probably down to around 33% health. We're going to bring in Big Snorlax as the damage sponge. The opponent switches out into a Talonflame. So what we're going to do here is we're going to time our charge moves. We're going to get off this Body Slam, look to get him down to about half health, and we're going to switch into Zapdos. The charge move coming through, we've got 2 shields. We know it's going to be a flame charge, but Zapdos doesn't really want to take any moves. This is where you see how quickly Zapdos generates energy. So we're going to fire off this first Drill Peck. I imagine this will get the opponent's shield. And then this is going to be a CMP tie, and Zapdos isn't losing CMP to really anything. Perhaps maybe we see a normal Mewtwo, which is unlikely. That takes out the Talonflame, and in comes the Cresselia, who backs out. GG's. Moving on into this next battle. We again have got our Shadow Snorlax Swampert core. However, this time we're pairing it up with our Shadow Gyarados. So we're in a kind of okay matchup. These Shadow Hydro Cannons do about half health, so it's going to take 2 to take them out. We're going to outpace them, so they're now going to have to start committing shields. We're trying to time our charge moves to deny the charm. This is going to grab the shield or take them out. If the opponent looks to try and charm us down, they'll make a mistake, as we would make another Hydro Cannon. We could shield this and still make it, however I'm going to let it go. A Snorlax Head and Energy is going to be great for us, so we're going to come in now. We're going to lick down, we'll take our shield advantage. We're not going to throw a charge move, which is completely licked down. We're now loaded on energy and we've got a shield advantage as well. In comes Talonflame again. So we time that on the second Incinerate. Get this Body Slam off. And the opponent's almost now down to half health. They're now at a move, so we fire off another Body Slam. See if the opponent wants to shield. The opponent doesn't want to shield. We're now looking to snipe. They let another Incinerate off and we try and snipe the Gyarados. We're unable to snipe, however they're only now going to get to 1 move. It is a flame charge, we are going to shield it up, and there goes down the Talonflame. The opponent actually backs out. GG's to the opponent. Moving on into this next battle, we've got our Swampert Snorlax core again with a Lapras this time. Like we said before, we're going to look to switch out of them negative matchups, which we do there. We soak the energy on the Giratina on our Snorlax. They bring in a Togekiss. Togekiss isn't the best answer for Snorlax. Snorlax can win this in even shielding scenarios. You can see we're already up to the second body slam, so the opponent's going to have to shield, or they're going to be straight in and straight out and lose switch. Opponent does shield. We're going to look to get to another move. Opponent throws energy, which is fine for us. We're going to let this go down now. We're going to bring in our Lapras and get a little ahead with a little bit of energy and farm them down. They're not going to make another move. Wait out a switch timer. 2 Ice Shards takes out the Togekiss. This is normally an Empoleon in the back. I imagine it's some sort of steel type. Let's see what they bring in. Opponent brings in a Melmetal. Lapras Melmetal is normally not the best match. I was Thundershock, Rock Slide and Super Power all hit us for super effective. However, these Shadow Surfs are no joke. This is where the Shadow bonus really comes in. See there, it does about 33%. We switch out, we're expecting the Giratina to come in. So we hold our energy and we fire off this Earthquake. The opponent shields, they're now down to no shields. Charge move coming through. We're going to let this go through and rely on our Lapras to close out this game. Earthquake coming through. I want to leave enough health on this Giratina to get some more farm on Lapras, so you can see there I actually stop attacking. That isn't lag. I just don't want to do any more damage, and I need these extra Ice Shards worth of energy with Lapras. Back in comes Lapras. We're going to get a couple more Ice Shards off. You can already see we're at a Surf. We're now 2 Ice Shards away from the back-to-back. In comes Melmetal. This first Surf's going to get him quite low. 1 more Ice Shard and that's going to be a GG. They've got a charge move. We've saved our shields. We're going to shield this up. Opponent throws a Rock Slide. 1 more Ice Shard and this Surf's going to be enough to clutch out this game. This team was the team that I reached my peak elo last season of 28-17. I would recommend that, and I will be showcasing this team later in the season. That is potentially going to be the team I'm going to look to push the Legends with. So moving on into this next battle, we're again going to use our Shadow Swampert, Shadow Snorlax core. However, this time we've got the Shadow Shiftry. We've seen how this matchup plays out before. We're not going to shield first. We'll see what the opponent wants to do. Foul play coming through. Again, we look to deny the fast move, and we're going to fire off this Hydro Cannon. Opponent lets it go through. And now we're going to look to land the Earthquake. We'll see if the opponent wants to shield. The opponent doesn't shield. We're now in a great spot because we're going to be able to let this move through and we're going to be able to farm them down with Mud Shot. You can see there, 3 just before they get to the next move, and Swampert now has a move ready for whatever comes in. We're going to fire off this Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon against Crest. We saw last time if they look to farm us down, they're going to get hit with another move, very similar to the last matchup. People are underestimating the power of Swampert. You can see there they're already down to about 40% health. We're going to look to bring in the big Snorlax. The damage sponge is going to soak whatever moves, just a Moonblast, doesn't do too much. We're now going to fire off this Body Slam. If the opponent doesn't shield, this is going to be enough to take them out. Opponent doesn't shield, they're putting all their faith in this Pokemon in the back. This is a Talonflame. So the opponent's at a move here. We're going to fire off just before their Incinerate finishes to see if the opponent wants to shield. The opponent does shield. They're over farming quite a lot. This is going to be the Flame Charge. However, we're quite close to the next Body Slam, so I'm going to want to pressure that last shield. Body Slam coming through. This will get them down quite low, so I imagine we're going to get a shield, which we do. And now we're going to switch into Shiftry. You can see these Incinerates are doing about, each one's doing about 20%, so we're not going to survive much, but we are going to shield that up. We're going to get to this Foul Play, and we're going to see if this Foul Play is going to be enough. Foul Play coming through, and Shiftry Talonflame counter confirmed. So those are the 5 teams that I did previously run with the OP Shadow Swampert Snorlax core. We're now going to look at some other top pick Pokemon. Unfortunately, I haven't built them just yet, but I'm going to look to invest and showcase them on the channel. So we've got Shadow Tangrowth. I'd give that a solid 3. Shadow Gramble, I'd give a 3. Shadow Hitmonchan, probably a 2, but it's one of my favourite Pokemon. Articuno, a solid 4. I will be building that. Shadow Cradilly, we love Cradilly on this channel. I'm going to give that a 4. Shadow Politoed / Poliwrath. Politoads are 4, Poliwraths are 3. Shadow Electivire are 2, but does hit hard. Shadow Hypno, I'm going to give a 4, really looking forward to maxing this one out. Shadow Abomasnow, again's in the God tier of a 5. Shadow Slowbro, a 3, and then Shadow Ninetales, we're also going to get a 3. So, that was my Shadow analysis in the Ultra League. I hope everyone enjoyed the video and I hope everyone's ready for Ultra. I do hope as well that everyone's going to try out some Shadow Pokemon, as Ultra League can be a bit boring with some of these bulky mon. Remember, we're all here for a good time, not a long time. And I'm going to see you all in the next one. Take care.